Hello and welcome to the Federal Podcast. I am Aprameya. On Tuesday night, September 12, India marched into the Asia Cup final with a 41-run victory over Sri Lanka in a low-scoring thriller. India made it 2 wins in 2 days to top the Super 4 stage. From the high of 356 for 2 on Monday against Pakistan, Indian batters found it tough as they were bowled out for 213 with all 10 wickets falling to spin. However, the bowler stood up and defended this below par total to keep the hosts to 172. Joining us from Colombo is senior cricket writer R Kaushik to talk about India's win. Thanks, Kaushik, for talking to the Federal.
Hi, Apo. Nice to be back today.
First up, Kaushik, how do you sum up India's performance, considering it was a low-scoring game?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that you sort of expect sometimes in the subcontinent, especially in Sri Lanka, where pitches sometimes tend to play a little slow, a little low. The bounce is variable. There is plenty of turn. The Shanak of the Sri Lankan captain was saying that he himself was surprised by how the pitch behaved. Like you said, 356 for 2 in the previous game and 213 all out in this game. But the conditions are totally different between the 2 days, between the 3 days if you take into account the fact that India played 2 days against Pakistan. There was so much help for the spinners in the first half of 4. I mean, the ball was turning, it was bouncing, it was keeping low. It was impossible to get any kind of rhythm once the spinners came on. If anything, probably Sri Lanka missed out a trick by not bringing spin earlier into the piece because Rohit Sharma especially looked particularly comfortable against the faster bowlers. India got off the flyer. They were scoring at about 7 over in the first 11 sort of overs until Velalage came on to bowl. And then from the time the spinners came and did their work, then the scoring got difficult and it was more about survival actually rather than run making. Things eased out a little bit in the second half of the innings, probably because the pitch was covered for a little while when it rained during the Indian innings, towards the end of the Indian innings. Probably also because the lights were on and the pitch sort of firmed up the pitch a little bit. So it wasn't as tricky batting in the second half against spin as it was in the first half. But in the quality of the Indian attack and the fast bowlers did the damage up front with 3 quick wickets and then Kuldeep Yadav in the middle and towards the end, champion bowler and rose to the occasion once again.
And looking at India's batting scorecard, Rohit Sharma again delivering third consecutive half century, looking good ahead of the big World Cup, Kaushik, for India?
Most certainly. It's a huge plus for India that Rohit is in such unscoring way. But the problem he would think is that he's getting out after getting set. Rohit is somebody that we know loves to bat deep. He's got double hundreds for fun in one-day international cricket. And so he won't be happy with 50s and 60s and 70s. He's the kind of guy who likes to bat deep into the innings and try and maximize his stay at the pitch. So he will be a little disappointed, happy that he got 350s, I'm sure. But he will be disappointed that at least 2 of them did not go on to bigger knocks because he couldn't have done anything. They thought the target is slow and India got there in the center. Yes, so good signs that he's batting with freedom, he's batting with authority, he's playing the full shots with such utter disdain that when he plays the full shot off the front foot towards the wicket and mid-on, you know that he's really in peak form, and that's a very good sign. But like I said, he will look for a big one, and if he can get 100 in any of the remaining games, either the Super 4 clash against Bangladesh on Friday or the final on Sunday, then he will leave this country a very happy man.
And the other 2 positives from India's batting were Ishan Kishan and KL Rahul. Both they are fighting for one slot, if I could say, and they both made 30s.
Yes, I mean they were united in the middle when India were in the middle of a little bit of a crisis. From 80 without losses, suddenly lost 3 wickets for 11 runs, including the wickets of Rohit and Kohli. So there was a little bit of a crisis. They took their time building the innings. Ishan especially was a lot more subdued than normal. Played well within himself. KL was busy. He kept working the gaps. Scored at a reasonably rapid pace. And that 63-run partnership for the 4th wicket that we spoke about was very crucial in the final analysis because if you look at the margin, it was 41 runs. And that partnership played a big role in ensuring that India didn't end up with 160 or 170, which could have easily been possible if they had panicked a little bit.
And how do you describe this youngster, Sri Lankan youngster, Dunith Velalage? He took 5 for 40 and batted well, almost took Sri Lanka to victory, and he was stranded on 42.
Yeah, Apu, early last year in January of 2022, the Under-19 World Cup was held in the Caribbean. And I remember watching one of the games where I watched the tournament quite a bit, and Velalage impressed me with his leadership, with his ability to do the difficult things. I remember in one game, he easily bagged 5-6 in the batting order. In one game, Sri Lanka lost 2 early wickets, and he promoted himself to number 4 and came and made a brilliant 100. And he also bowled superbly in the tournament. He led the team really well. You could see that he had a very good cricketing brain, that he was not fazed by anything. It's one thing to do it at the under-19 level, but then to immediately come into the senior side and hold his own against some of the top batsmen in the world, against some of the top bowlers in the world. Very impressive performance. I'm sure we will hear a lot about this young kid going forward. Who knows, in a few years' time, he might be Sri Lanka's senior captain as well. I think the future is really bright for him. He's like I said, he's very mature. He's very poised and composed. He doesn't get rattled. And he's not overawed by the stage or the occasion. And when you look at him and consider the fact that he's only 20, definitely the sky is the limit for Velalage.
Right. On India's bowling, Kuldeep Yadav shining again last night, 5 wickets against Pakistan, and tonight 4.
Yes, 4 wickets were all very important because we got 2 wickets up front when Sri Lanka was in the middle of a rescuing act with Sabila Samaravikrama. So he got rid of both of them, which was very, very crucial and very decisive. And then right at the end, it might appear that we only got number 10 and number 11, but there was Velalage at the other end, and this was one of those nights when Velalage could do no wrong. And as soon as Kuldeep had a chance to bowl at Kasim Radhika, and then after that at Matisha Patirana, he just needed one delivery to clean them up, which is the kind of a bowler who knows exactly what he's doing. And so those 4 wickets, the rhythm with which he's bowling, the fact that he's able to not just take wickets but also send the flow of runs, those are all excellent signs, and that's the reason why he's India's number 1 spinner and white ball cricket now.
And looking ahead to the final on Sunday, Kaushik, India is already through, and it will be between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Your thoughts on that game, how crucial it will be, because Pakistan are behind on the net run rate and they are in a must-win situation.
Yes, if that match doesn't happen, if it's a washout, then Sri Lanka will go through because their net run rate is superior to Pakistan. Courtesy India's big win over Pakistan on Monday night. It will be a tight game. It will be a no-hold-barred contest for a spot in the final. The one thing we need to see is how Haris Rauf and Naseem Shah shape up for Pakistan, because neither of them came out to bat against India, and we are not sure exactly how serious their injuries are. The other thing that we will also need to consider is what is the kind of surface that will be laid out for that match.
Right.
Because we saw that the India-Pakistan match had a fantastic batting track, whereas on this track in Tuesday's game, run making was not as easy once the new ball became a little older and a little softer. So I think the pitch will also play a big part. Sri Lanka has got this assortment of spinners who can just turn up and roll their arms over. Pakistan's batting is a little fragile and vulnerable, a little too dependent on Babar Azam. So a lot of them depend on what kind of conditions we get, and more importantly, we all hope that it's a clear day, that it's a game, and that the finalist is decided on the field of play and not through calculators and net run rates.
Right, Coach. One last question. India will play their last game in Super 4 on Friday against Bangladesh. Will Rohit Sharma and the team management look to rest some key players ahead of the final?
I would expect so. Of course, it's important to have yes, but it's also important to make sure that the players who are settled 11 get a little bit of rest when they can, and people, the guys who are sitting on the bench, get a go because they might be called upon to play in a crisis. So I expect not wholesale changes, but maybe 1 or 2 changes, just so that maybe Bumrah, who's bowled reasonably enough on the overs in these last 3 days, maybe he will get a break. I'm not sure. Somebody sitting outside probably will get a game. So yeah, I do expect a couple of changes for that game.
Thanks, Kaushik. We will reconnect on Friday.
Thanks a lot, Apu. Thanks. Nice chatting to you, and let's hope Friday is another happy day.
Right.